The New York Knicks are set to take on the Golden State Warriors tonight. For Donte DiVincenzo, this is him coming full circle. He was with Golden State last year. And according to a recent report, Donte DiVincenzo mentioned that Steph Curry was somebody who encouraged him to actually join the Knicks. We're going to break down this insane report and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. Donte DiVincenzo credits Steph Curry for helping him choose the New York Knicks in free agency. When I first heard about this report, it absolutely shocked me. So you're telling me the greatest shooter ever helped you choose the New York Knicks in free agency and didn't help you stay with Golden State? That alone was a little bit weird. But fast forward to this season. Take a look at this stat, because tonight we're about to see two of the greatest shooters go at it. One of them is Steph Curry, and at least for this season, the other one is Donte DiVincenzo. Take a look at this stat. Donte DiVincenzo and Steph Curry both lead the league in terms of three-point percentage if you're shooting more than 400 three-point attempts for the season thus far. Steph Curry, 649 three-pointers attempted, 41% from three. And then you have Donte DiVincenzo, 442 three-pointers attempted, 41.6% from three. Astonishing. We go from that to tonight, where Donte DiVincenzo and Steph Curry are going to face off again when Golden State takes on the New York Knicks. And let's say Jalen Brunson doesn't play tonight. If he doesn't, then the main storyline going into this game, the main thing we're going to be watching and looking at, is going to be Steph Curry and Donte DiVincenzo. Steph Curry and Donte leading the league in threes. But there's more to this story, as I mentioned at the top of the show. Steph Curry, somebody who had Donte DiVincenzo on his roster, could have kept Donte DiVincenzo on the roster. Potentially, we don't know. But one thing we do know is Donte DiVincenzo was giving credit to Steph Curry for helping him choose the New York Knicks in free agency. Let's take a look at this report. Shout out to the New York Daily Post Steph Bondi for giving us the following information about this story with Donte DiVincenzo. According to them, the two-time MVP and Steph Curry dubbed the New York Knicks as a quality fit for DiVincenzo. The Knicks needed an extra shooter, and the team already employed two regulars who were DiVincenzo's best buds from Villanova, Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. According to Steph Curry, just looking at the depth chart and the role he could play, what they needed, they were already a playoff team, starting to trend in the right direction. Then there is his familiarity with the players from college. That made it so he'd have the opportunity to go in and do exactly what he did for us. He's a smart, high IQ basketball player who plays defense. I don't know about you guys, but when a two-time MVP, unanimous MVP I might add, talks about stuff like this, talks about one of your players like Donte DiVincenzo, the shooter that he was, he used to play for Golden State. So obviously Steph Curry saw him play, knows his skill set, knows what he is to a team and what another team may need. And even he said, when looking at Donte, his skill set and other teams out there that he fit, the team that fit Donte DiVincenzo the most was the New York Knicks. And I'm so happy that Steph Curry said that and put that idea inside Donte DiVincenzo's head. If it wasn't already there, thanks to Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson already being part of the New York Knicks. But even so, if it wasn't already there, Steph Curry made sure to put it inside Donte DiVincenzo's head. And I think I speak for all New York Knicks fans when I say, thank you, Steph. Thank you so much for giving us another quality free agent pickup, because I got to say, now that he's a New York Knick, on a great deal, a great contract, a steal of a contract, if I may say so, he's going to stay a New York Knick likely for many, many years. In my opinion and my hope, I hope he stays a New York Knicks player for the rest of his career, because that's the type of player he's been looking like for the New York Knicks, a player that you want to have on your roster each and every year. He's a shooter. He's a hustler on the floor. And like Steph Curry just said, he plays defense. DiVincenzo continued and he stated the following. Ultimately, he said, it was on my mind, you know. I'm a grown man. I make my own decisions. But I have somebody of the stature to almost voice the opinion that I'm thinking. It makes you feel good about the decision you're making. rather than if he says something way out of left field and you kind of start to question things. He reinforced what I was thinking about in New York. So it's extremely clear here. Donte DiVincenzo was weighing options. There were a couple of teams he probably wanted to go to, but clearly the New York Knicks were at the top of his list, given the players that they had, the personnel that they had, and obviously they were a playoff team looking for more, looking for a player like Donte DiVincenzo and his skill set. It was a match made in heaven. I'm so happy that it happened and Donte chose the Knicks. But even more than that, you could see, even though he was weighing his options, he wanted to come to New York. He wanted to join the Knicks. But to have somebody like Steph Curry on your side, in your corner, saying, I hear you. I hear what you're saying, and I know we've built up this rapport over the last few months. And because of that, I'm confident in telling you that I think if you go to the New York Knicks, it's going to be a great move, and I think it's going to be a great move for your career. Essentially, that's what Curry said to Donte, and then the rest is history. Fast forward to today, we now have Donte as part of the New York Knicks, one of the best three-point shooters in the league, and obviously you have Steph Curry, part of Golden State, as always, one of the best shooters in the league. But this season, it just feels a little bit more special just to see a graphic like this with Donte DiVincenzo and Steph Curry sharing the same space in a stat that is absolutely telling, like this one. Donte DiVincenzo having a 41.6% rate from three, shooting better than 400 plus threes for this season. Doing it at that percentage with that many attempts, a career high for him, by the way, is absolutely sensational. I could not believe it. It has been an absolute pleasure watching Donte DiVincenzo play basketball for this Knicks team. It's been great to watch him blossom, to break out, and look like the player that I think a lot of people expected him to be coming out of college, because coming out of college, he looked like a player, a force to be reckoned with. Now, he didn't really put it all together right away. Injuries hurt him down the line as well, too. A couple of trades happened, and when that happens, you got to find chemistry. The greatest thing that could have happened to him is choosing to come to the New York Knicks, because that chemistry that he needed to find with other teams, he already had it with Jalen and Josh. So he just added to that and built it even more with the other players that he needed to build it with. In a Julius Randle, in a Mitchell Robinson, in a Isaiah Hartenstein, in an OG Anunoby. He has fit so seamlessly. I cannot think of another player that has fit so well to a roster, maybe since Jalen, and then Josh Hart right after him. And not surprised, another Villanova guy in Donte DiVincenzo is fitting like a glove for this team. Shout out to Leon Rose. Credit to that man, because without him making the decisions he made, making the trades he made, making the acquisitions in free agency that he did, we would not look like the team we are right now. Shout out to Leon Rose. The patient game is working, and now I am patiently waiting for you to make another move this offseason if and when you're ready. If I've learned anything this season, I'm going to be patient and wait with Leon Rose, because that seems to have the most success. I also want to mention this key stat. Donte DiVincenzo has already taken a career high 132 three-pointers from 27 feet or deeper, according to Second Spectrum. He's knocked down in 40% of those, which is also a career best. 40%. Career highs, career best. This is exactly what you want to hear from anybody you add during the offseason. Now you have somebody like Donte DiVincenzo that you can depend on, that defenses have to worry about, and that can help stretch the floor for you, your bench, or wherever he plays. And he can be a bench player. He can be a starter. He can do whatever you need him to do, and he's not going to complain. And that's what I love about Donte DiVincenzo and players like him, because they can be a glue guy for you. You can plug them in and out. You can use them whichever way you like to, and he's still going to find a way to be effective because he understands his role and his game for this Knicks team. Once you have that down pat, anything can happen. I am so happy with Donte DiVincenzo, his progress, and what he's been doing for this Knicks team. And I think tonight, once the Knicks take on Golden State, you're going to see a show put on, not only by Steph Curry, which I hope he doesn't put on too much of a show, but definitely from our stars in Jalen Brunson if he plays. And I know a lot of people don't want to call him a star yet, but I'm calling him that, because his play for me this season is absolutely showing me he can reach star status, because he is that good. If you haven't seen that yet, keep watching Donte, because if you're not a believer yet that Donte is a star, Mark my words, you will be. You want to know how I know that? A 2-time unanimous MVP in Steph Curry absolutely believes it too. But what about you guys? What do you think about this insane report that Steph Curry actually helped Donte DiVincenzo choose the New York Knicks in free agency? Let me know in the comments how you feel about that. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans. Peace.